All right, breaking news and some real politics to talk about in Formula One. Daniel Ricciardo's coming back to AlphaTauri. As many of you may or may not know, AlphaTauri is the sister company of Red Bull. Now, this is very, very interesting, and people have been questioning me, looking at me like I've lost my mind the last few weeks talking about racing. Now, to be fair to them, some of them don't know that I used to race professionally for 13 years, so I know behind the scenes. I know karting, I know cars, I know motor racing, I know the politics behind it. There's a lot of dark side of motor racing that a lot of people don't realize, even though every sport in the world has a dark side. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm putting my hand up in the air, by the way. I know, like, Cristiano Ronaldo, right? He was put on the bench from, was it Man United for a couple of years, and people were wondering, why are they putting him on the bench? He was the lead goal scorer the year before. Why would you put that guy on the bench? Obviously, some politics going on. Don't get me wrong, guys. Excuse me. I'm not a big football fan, so I could be completely wrong what I'm talking about Ronaldo. But I do know there is a lot of politics in all sorts of sports out there. And to be fair, they'd be like, who is this guy? Did he race before? Is he a wannabe presenter? No, I'm not. I just know what I'm talking about when it comes to motor racing. I'm not being cocky. I just know the world. Like any one of you guys would know the world too if you were racing cars or karts in your past. Everybody would. So the thing here is, Ricciardo's coming back to AlphaTauri. Now, a few weeks ago, I was mentioning that Sergio Perez is getting slowed down by Red Bull on purpose. Now, I understand that some people were going, what? He's getting slowed down on purpose? Why would they do that? Like, people were laughing, going, this guy's out of his fucking mind here. And quite honestly, I understand exactly where people are coming from. Why in God's name would you slow down your number two driver? Why would you do it? Surely you want to win and everything, right? Okay, well, let's look at this. They're saying that Sergio Perez is buckling under the pressure. He can't handle it. He's making mistakes because Max Verstappen is so good and he's trying to win the championship, and Perez is trying to win the championship, but Perez is, like I'm saying, bottling under the pressure. That's what the headlines are making it out to be, and that's what a lot of people are saying. And of course, Verstappen fans are saying, oh, of course he is, boy. He doesn't have a clue. Verstappen's just so good. We'll stop right there for a second. Let's just look at this. Okay. Firstly, Perez has had a couple of wins. He's been on the podium quite a bit. All of a sudden, then a week later, he's been slowed down. Now, why would he be on form one week and all of a sudden he's off form the week after? Doesn't make sense, does it? Why would he be so unpredictable? Thing is, he's not unpredictable. He knows what he's doing. I'm not even a Perez fan, and I'm even batting for him here. I like to be fair to all drivers. Now, here's the thing. Red Bull, a few years ago, replaced Pierre Gasly with Albon. If anybody's seen Drive to Survive, you've seen that. Now, this was midway through the season, and it was the same thing going on here. Red Bull were saying Pierre Gasly couldn't handle the pressure, couldn't do it, couldn't match up to Verstappen. So what did they do? They transferred him back to AlphaTauri. Okay, so they didn't fire him completely, they just got rid of him from the Red Bull number 1 team, let's say, and they put him into Red Bull number 2. Now, if he's that bad, why would they put him into AlphaTauri anyway? But we'll come back to that. So they brought in Albon. So it just shows you that Christian Horner, the Red Bull main guy, the boss, Christian Horner's got a lot of pull. He's got a lot of power. Imagine Christian Horner from Red Bull calling Ferrari or Mercedes midway through a season and saying, hey guys, will you just take Pierre Gasly there for us? They go, Christian, you're out of your mind. Go away from us. We have our own drivers. But thank you very much, though. Okay? He'd have no say in it. But Christian Horner got Pierre Gasly back into AlphaTauri. So no matter what way you look at it, Christian Horner is the boss of both teams here. Okay? He really, really is. He has the say over all of it. So if Perez is bottling it under the pressure, like Gasly now, same pattern here, well, if he's not performing, why wouldn't you just bring in Ricciardo so? Now, if you look at Ricciardo's track record at Red Bull versus Sergio Perez's track record at Red Bull, Daniel Ricciardo is coming back to Formula 1, to the AlphaTauri number 2 outfit, but why not just bring him into the number 1 Red Bull outfit with Verstappen? Why not? Daniel Ricciardo's track record, he's got more wins when he was racing with Red Bull than Perez. He's got more podiums than Perez when he was the both of them were at Red Bull. His track record at Red Bull right now is better than Sergio Perez's. For right now, currently, as we speak. So if you're having problems with Perez, well, why not just fucking replace him right now with the guy that has done better? Wouldn't that be logical? Wouldn't that be the sensible thing to do? Bring the guy who's got a better track record, bring him in, maybe we can win more. Now, why wouldn't they do that? Don't you think there's something else going on in the background here? Couldn't there be a bit of politics? You know, think about this. Christian Horner can do anything he wants. Anything he wants between the two teams. And he's bringing Ricciardo back into AlphaTauri. And believe you me, Christian Horner's got some say in this. Now, why not just bring him back to Red Bull? Doesn't make sense. Or does it make sense? Is there a lot of politics going on in the background here? Maybe it's something to think about, guys. Because it doesn't add up. Thanks for listening.